I first studied international business. I traveled a lot for that. I was in different countries for 2 years. I really like consulting and advising, so I went ahead and did a master's degree in strategic consulting. And during that time, I also did my thesis. During that time, I was already really interested in cryptocurrencies as well. And after that, I did some advising for a tech startup as well in Eindhoven, where the sort of the Silicon Valley of the Netherlands, as they call it, is. So I did that, and that gradually I really enjoyed that. So I gradually kept pressing in the two and doing this with tech startups and really specialized on the blockchain. I've worked with some interesting startups in the past. I've advised on whether or not to invest in certain betting projects as well. So I think it's a very interesting market, and I really wanted to do something with that. So this is a good combination of a sport that I'm very familiar with and an area that I'm really interested in. So yeah, it's a very good combination, I think. Well, so sort of noticed myself jumping in at all kinds of different parts of the process. So a little bit of marketing and helping to decide how to approach marketing, because it can be quite different in the ICO world as compared to any other business. Thinking of how to approach investors, and then I really like to look at the white paper as well and try to get the best out of it. Get the white paper in a way that it's sort of has all the necessary elements for investors, because that's something that I like to focus on from a strategical aspect, and that I notice very often is there's a ton of tech-savvy guys in blockchain and in the ICO space, and they write great white papers, technically speaking, but what I often feel is lacking is the strategical part that really matters for an investor, you know? Yeah, it's sort of a jack, you have to be sort of a jack of all trades and look at really all angles and sort of guide it from the middle all the way to the beginning all the way to the end. Obviously, soccer or football is really big in the Netherlands, so, and I played myself as well. I played it for 10 years. I played a lot of it, so I really think it's an interesting sport, and especially the football on a national level. So I think it's very interesting. So you're coming in at a great time with the World Cup in Russia. So that's very great for the project. And yeah, I think it's a very interesting sport that I like to be around and like to be involved in. Well, I think that this is a project that has the opportunity to really get a lot of people excited, because it's about sports, but at the same time, it's about a lot of other things. And it's a huge market, and I think it's just important for people to sort of realize and, you know, go with projects that excite you and go with stuff that you think is interesting.